Hello viewers, and welcome to another edition of the book review vlog. Today we are reviewing the book Hamlet by William Shakespeare. It is a play, as many of you know, so this is a new genre for this book vlog. And as it's a play, as many books, it also has characters. And the first character is Hamlet, who is the Prince of Denmark, and he is a young boy, and there is his uncle Claudius, who is now the King of Denmark, and Gertrude, Hamlet's mother, who is the Queen. There is also the ghost of Hamlet's father. Hamlet's father has died and now is just a ghost. And there is also Horatio, who is Hamlet's friend, and a character of Polonius, who is Claudius's advisor. And Polonius has two children, a daughter named Ophelia and a son named Laertes. And also there is Grundelkrantz and Guildenstern. Sorry if I got those all botched up. And those are also Hamlet's friends, and those are kind of go-betweens between Claudius and Gertrude and Hamlet, because throughout the play, Claudius and Gertrude wonder over Hamlet's bizarre behavior. So the act opens up with guards who are guarding the castle, and they see Hamlet's father's ghost, and they get Horatio and Hamlet, and both of these men see the ghost, and this is where the ghost tells Hamlet that not only did Hamlet's father die, but he was actually murdered by his uncle Claudius. And so now Hamlet has this news and wonders what to do with it. Polonius is also in the first act, and he has conversations with both Laertes and Ophelia as Laertes prepares to leave for France. During the Act 2, Hamlet has this information of what to do with the information that Claudius killed his father. However, Claudius and Gertrude see Hamlet's bizarre behavior, and they assume that it is because of his love for Ophelia. And so Claudius and Polonius decide to kind of sneak and spy on Hamlet and set him up so that if he tells Ophelia why he is feeling the way that he does, then they can use this to their advantage. And they do this throughout both Act 2 and Act 3, which I will get to later. But Act 2 finishes with Hamlet still wondering how to break the news that he knows that Claudius killed his father. And when he runs into a group of actors who are looking to perform some kind of a play. So this gives Hamlet an idea. And this begins Act 3, where Hamlet has this idea to put on a play that reenacts his father's death. And he shows this to everybody in the kingdom, including Claudius and Gertrude. And Claudius realizes that Hamlet knows that he killed his father. And so he and Polonius also decide to spy on Hamlet because Claudius is afraid that Hamlet will tell people what he knows. So Polonius has an idea to spy on Hamlet through a tapestry in Gertrude's room while Gertrude and Hamlet are having a conversation. And however, Hamlet hears Polonius moving around and mistakes him for Claudius. So Hamlet stabs Polonius thinking it's Claudius, and unfortunately Polonius then dies. So Hamlet drags Polonius's body elsewhere where we don't know where he is, and this ends Act 3. Now Act 4 opens up with Claudius and Gertrude realizing that Hamlet has killed Polonius, and they're wondering where Polonius's body is. As I said before, we don't know where that is. And Hamlet's answers are very weird and they're very cryptic, and so Claudius and Gertrude decide to send Hamlet to England to kind of protect him from his crime. And both Polonius's children Laertes and Ophelia realize that Polonius has died and take it differently. Ophelia begins to go crazy and loses her mind and begins to speak in this kind of strange poetic verse that nobody can understand. But Laertes has a different tactic where now he wants revenge on Hamlet for killing his father, Polonius. And Claudius and Laertes kind of hatch out a plan to poison different things with meaning food and drinks and swords, so that if Laertes and Hamlet were to duel, there would be different ways that Hamlet could get in contact with this poison and therefore be killed. And Act 4 does end somewhat tragically when Ophelia jumps into a river and unfortunately drowns due to her madness and not knowing right from wrong. And so there is another death in Hamlet. And then Act 5 opens with Hamlet returning from England to realize that Ophelia has died, and also Laertes has died, or Laertes finds out that Ophelia has died, and they handle it differently, where Hamlet is now overstricken with grief and also loses his mind, and Laertes now wants even more revenge on Hamlet because he blames Hamlet for Ophelia's death. And so there's, in Act 5, Hamlet and Laertes do meet and do start to duel in front of Claudius and Gertrude. And throughout the duel, Gertrude accidentally drinks the poison drink that was meant for Hamlet, and she dies. And throughout the scuffle, Hamlet and Laertes both stab each other, although Laertes is stabbed a little harder. And as Laertes is dying, he tells Hamlet that the swords have been poisoned, so not only is he dying, but Hamlet is dying as well. And before Hamlet dies, he thinks, well, this is a good idea, or this is a good thing that these swords are poisoned, and he stabs Claudius. And so both Claudius and Hamlet die at the end, and this is a tragedy of Shakespeare, so unfortunately, as it seems in a lot of Shakespeare tragedies, everybody dies, and that is certainly true with Hamlet. I enjoyed this book very much. I'm glad that I finally was able to read it. I also am going to let you know that I spent some time with a friend of mine over the weekend, and we did see the movie The Princess Bride. And she, for a gift, gave me the book version of The Princess Bride, and so that will be my next book that I review. So hopefully there will be more in the book that the movie did not show. So I bid you all a good day and happy reading.